third contestant, Peter Tymciw. What's your life dream? What's your life dream? Peter Tymciw.
I have a dream. The power of 4 words spoken by Martin Luther King nearly 40 years ago, who was impacted by the life of Mahatma Gandhi, who also had a dream to free India. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. It was George Foreman who went from pounding the muscles in the ring to pounding the fat out of hamburgers on TV, who said, if you don't dream, you might as well be dead. What's your life dream? When I think of the word dream, I think of an acronym. Dare to reach eternal achievements magnificently. Dare to reach eternal achievements magnificently. It was Tony Campolo who studied people in a home like this who reached the 100 age mark and asked them, if you had to live life over again, what would you do differently? And many of them said, I would take time to reflect more. I will take time to smell flowers. They said I will take time to take more risks now that I'm in a wheelchair. When I think of risk takers, I think of John Henry Dunant, who in 1862 wrote a book, Memories of Seraphina. He had a dream of having a society in every country in the world. And 2 years later, the first society was born in Geneva, Switzerland. But he faced financial ruin. And it wasn't until a newspaperman rediscovered him in 1895, and he won the first Nobel Peace Prize. And you know the society he founded, friends? The Red Cross. In the war today, if there's no blood, you're dead. Dare to reach. When I think of people reaching the stars, I think of the great cathedrals that have been built in Germany and France and the States and Canada. Someone had a dream greater than themselves to reach someone who was bigger than themselves. Fellow Toastmasters, if you want to turn the word try into triumph, you need to add some oomph to try. Harvey McKay, no relation, of pushing the envelope, dare to reach eternal. I read a book by a man named Paul Little who challenged me with this quote. Paper is temporal. Paper is temporal. People are eternal. Peter, invest your life not in paper or accounting, but in people. Dare to reach eternal achievements. Oh, as Toastmasters, if we have surplus funds, you might get a icebreaker pin. You might win the Best Speaker Award. You might win your club contest. You might win the award for the area which I did. Oh, a nice piece of metal. But these achievements, your pins will be lost at the dry cleaner. Your dogs and cats will eat your ribbons one day. Your certificates will fade. Your medals will be lost and maybe surface at the pawn shop, like Tim Horton's Stanley Cup ring just this past year. Oh, dare to reach eternal achievements. When I think of eternal achievements, I think of Benjamin Franklin. If you had a pair of glasses, take them off. Put them back on. You wouldn't see without him. The first mail that was sent. The lightning rod. Every home has a lightning rod. The rocking chair. The first thing he invented, but he never sat in it. Oh, there's so much more he invented. Dream bigger than ourselves. Have dreams greater than ourselves. Dare to reach eternal achievements. How? Magnificently. If anything is worth doing, it's worth doing Well, the Golden Gavel Award to the highest recipient Toastmasters is being given this August to Debbie Fields for her philosophy of excellence in your March magazine if you haven't read it. And her philosophy is, good enough never is. Oh, when Abe Lincoln's mother was dying, he was only 6, his mother said, Abe, be somebody. No, she said, Abe, be somebody. Not anybody, but be somebody. Oh, fellow Toastmasters, at your club when no one shows up, you are a somebody when you take the role. Represent your mothers well. Represent Barrie Toastmasters well. Represent the area well. Represent your division well. Dr. Smedley would be proud of you that his eternal achievement is carrying out today long after his death. Dare to reach eternal achievement magnificently. And leave you with this quote from Les Brown, the great motivational speaker. In his book, you need to read it, Live Your Dreams. He quotes Dr. Benjamin Isaiah Bates, who says this: it must be borne in mind that the tragedy in life lies not in not reaching your goals. The tragedy in life lies in not having any goals to reach. It is not a calamity not to reach the stars as the astronauts have, but it is a calamity not to have any stars to reach. It's not a disgrace to die with your dreams unfulfilled, but it is a disgrace not to dream. What stars are you reaching for? You, and you, and you. And what's your life dream?
One minute of silence again for
Some stuff to listen to, some personal development advice, and it changed my life. Literally got me reading books again, listened to tons of personal development, bought everything, took it to heart, and it really changed me as a person, my philosophy, outlook in life, and I have shared that all over everywhere I've gone to in the whole world. Everywhere I've gone, I've shared about you and what you told me. And I always wondered what happened to you, because I wanted to thank you and say, wow, you changed my life and you didn't even know it. So it's so neat to be able to see somebody 17 years later and see what happened to this guy. And it was just a brief meeting. I think we only got together about 3 times, and that was enough to change my life. And I am super thankful. Every time I keep track of all the books on my shelf that I've read, I think back to that day.
Wow.
So yeah, you changed my life. So that's me today in 2019. Dan Zorgel.
Thank you.
Bye.